All right. Well, welcome to today's Q&A. My name is Jessie here with Decker Truckline. We're talking miles, we're talking pay, home time, and anything else I can think of. Equipment, there we go. What it takes to drive for Decker, what we have available, and all those good things. So ask your questions, put them in the chat. I'll be answering them as soon as I see them come in. And in the meantime, I'll give you a little bit of information about what we have. Okay? So it is the 19th of August already, so we're going to give you all the up-to-date as of today. All right, as of right now, we currently have our flatbed division, which is our Midwest flatbed, runs $14.50 per week, and it has an $8,000 sign-on bonus that pays out within the first year. So that is one of our positions that we currently have available here at Decker. Another one, we'll dive deeper into these here in just a little bit, but I kind of want to give you, just skim the details a little bit so you can say, hey, yeah, I want to stay on. I have more questions about this one, or yeah, maybe it doesn't. Maybe we don't have the right fit for you right now, and maybe we will down the road. We'll see. Okay, fair enough. Hey, Mike. Good afternoon again. All right, so yeah, our Midwest flatbed $14.50, $8,000 sign-on bonus. That one, like I said, we'll dive a little bit deeper, but that one's going to be shorter runs. It's definitely within the Midwest, and it is a home weekly opportunity. We have our over-the-road flatbed. We have several over-the-road flatbed opportunities as well. We've seen a huge increase in our flatbed awards or lanes that we've recently been awarded. So we've seen a huge increase in that, which we absolutely love, and which creates obviously additional opportunity for you. So if you're interested, the telephone number that's coming across the screen, you can either call this one 877-233-2537 or 877-433-2537. Either one of them will get you to the recruiting department. Both of them work. They go to the same place. So either one, make it happen. And then we have refrigerated options. I've got 3 refrigerated options, but it really depends on where you live on what options you'll have. The first one is a home weekly. It's actually a guaranteed home weekly on the weekends. That refrigerated opportunity is around the Indiana, Ohio area. Again, put your location in the chat and I'll be able to give you more specifics on yes, that is the area, no, that's not, that kind of stuff. But that one is a home weekly opportunity. It pays anywhere, depending on your experience, anywhere from 55 to 65 cents a mile to start. You do get a penny raise after 90 days. You get a penny raise annually. Look, I'm already throwing things today. You get a penny raise annually until you hit the cap, which currently in that one is 70 cents a mile. Pretty much all across the board, 70 cents a mile for us here at Decker. So the home every 11 days and then home for 3 days. That opportunity is available to you really anywhere. If we drew a line out of Colorado and then everything east of Colorado, any of our hiring area that's east of Colorado, that is pretty much 11 days out and 3 days home for an opportunity. Again, you can choose to stay out longer, and if you're in an area where we have the home weekly in the refrigerated, you can do that one, but it'll overlap a little bit. Now, 11 days out and 3 days home for that refrigerated option. It still can be coast to coast, but most of it's going to be really, really heavy in the Midwest. And then we have our 2 to 3 weeks out at a time and home for 4 to 5 days. That one is available out west. So out west, you're more limited to the home time opportunities, but you're definitely looking at more miles, longer length of haul, right? So again, 2 to 3 weeks out. I almost said the wrong thing. 2 to 3 weeks out and home for 4 to 5 days. And then the 11 and 3 is more within the Midwest. But in the Midwest, you have the option of doing, out 2 to 3 or 11 and 3 or whatever. Depends on what you're looking for. You have more options that way. But in the one that's the one that's 2 to 3 weeks out at a time and home for 4 to 5 days, longer lengths of haul, and then you're running out west a lot more in that one, just in order to get you home, with that rotation. Obviously, we have to get you out a little bit longer. So those are currently our opportunities as a solo driver. We also have availability in our refrigerated teams opportunity for over the road. This is not our dedicated one. I know we have dedicated every once in a while, but this one is our over the road opportunity for teams. You'd be bringing a team member on with you. You do need to live within the same area, same location, in order to, manage home time. And usually you're out 4 weeks at a time and then home for, 4 or 5 days, 5 days or so, for the team refrigerated opportunity. Cool. All right. Hey, Sean. Good morning, good day. It's morning where I'm at. Still, for a few more minutes. All right, so yeah, we do have a couple of different opportunities for refrigerated and flatbed. Okay, what would qualify you? Qualifications: you must have at least 6 months of tractor trailer experience and a clean driving record. So no major moving violations, no DOT reportable accidents, nothing like that within the last 3 years. Now, that said, if you have a couple of tickets, more, not major moving violations, obviously, but if you had a 5-over ticket or a parking ticket or what else? Or if you had an incident, like a turning incident, those we can usually work with. You run everything by the recruiter and make sure, but as long as you don't have more than 2 in the last 3 years, you'll be okay. For less, as long as they're not major moving violations. Major, one and done, as far as insurance is looking at. So same with DOT recordable accidents. But if you have a speeding ticket, a 5-over or a 10-over, we can work with no more than 2 in the last 36 months. No more than 1 in the last 12 months. So please keep that in mind. Hi, Collins. How are you? Good to have you, Colin. So yes, those are the basic requirements. Now that said, 21 years and older, a valid Class A CDL, of course. And when it comes to experience, I said 6 months of tractor trailer experience, right? Okay, so true, but we can make an exception if you're a recent graduate of an approved school. If you're a recent graduate, we can train you in, we've got refrigerated and flatbed opportunities. That said, there aren't as many, obviously, available positions in the training as there is in solo, because you have to have a trainer available. So we have to manage that, coordinate that a little bit differently, meaning you could be waiting until the end of September for a trainer instead of being able to start right away. We have opportunities available to start on Monday if you're interested. And if you qualify, if you don't have the experience and you're a student and you're looking to be going with a trainer, that's when you'll need to be a little bit more flexible with your starting time, because you might not be able to start on Monday. You might have to wait till, 3 or 4 weeks, depending on availability. So best thing to do is please call us 877-233-2537. I had to think about the telephone number for a second. And make sure you're talking to the recruiter and let them know, yes, I'm an experienced driver or I'm a student, so that we know what direction we're looking at when it comes to starting, okay? Colin says, just great. All is well in your family. Good, thank you. Thank you, Colin. You too. So yeah, that's the basic experience level. Now, as far as orientation, if you qualify, if you meet all those qualifications, right, then you have a 3-day orientation as an experienced driver. So it's a 3-day orientation. Well, because normally it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then you're dispatched out usually Thursday. If you're flatbed, you probably have some tarping and securement to go over as well before you're dispatched out. We pay you $500 for completing orientation, and then we get you rolling. But before you even come to orientation, we've got you all approved. We go through all of that ahead of time. We have you do an online orientation. We have you do your physical and your drug tests as well. We do both the urinalysis and the hair follicle for drug tests. And then we have, of course, a new physical, unless your physical is good for another year or so. If it's good for at least another 6 months, we should be okay. unless there's some sort of restriction on it. So please let us know. Otherwise, we'd set you up with a new physical when we do the drug test, and we'll have those as convenient as possible for you when you're out there, either on the road or at home, depending on what your situation is currently. So again, 877-233-2537 for more details on that. And so that is done before orientation. Also before orientation, we have an online orientation. So when I say orientation normally, before orientation, I mean before you even come to Fort Dodge, Iowa, which is our corporate office. That's our main terminal. That's where most of this is taking place. But before you even get to there, once you're approved and once you've done your physical and your drug test, you'll have an online orientation, which consists of a number of modules. And so you sign in, we'll give you all that info. You'll sign in, you'll go through each module. Now, a module could be a video. It could be an interactive image, like a clickable image where you're, for instance, when you're thinking pre-trip, and then you have arrows in all directions on this image. You click on one of the words with the arrow, and it'll pop up a box. This is the interactive part, where it'll tell a little bit more detail. Like, I mean, if it's pointing towards the fuel filter, it'll pop up and it'll explain a little bit about the fuel filter, and then you'll go to the next one. So it could have a video, an interactive image, it could be an article. So there's a number of different style of modules, but following each module is a number of questions, anywhere from 1 to 5 questions usually. And once you've answered those questions correctly, you can move on to the next module. So you'll have that before you come to Fort Dodge for orientation. I tell you what, since we've been doing this, which has been a few years now, but since we've been doing this, it makes life a whole lot easier when you come to orientation, because one, you can retain more info because you've already gone through some of it, or at least what you've gone through makes sense, along the way. And then when you're in orientation, it's only a 3-day orientation instead of a lot longer, because we usually would have so much more information to go through. And so it gets you through the process easier, so you can start making money, which is the reason you're going about this anyway, right? Is to start making more money, a new opportunity for you and everything. So that's how that process goes along. And again, orientations start on Mondays. You're usually dispatched out on Thursday, going out, and you get paid $500 on Friday. That's direct deposit. We do direct deposit. You get paid every Friday, and then we have a minimum pay safety net for you. That's not the goal. I gotta remind you that minimum pay is not the goal. Minimum pay is just a safety net. You want to make over and above, right? You don't want to be capped on what you can make. You want to make the most, make yourself available, maximize your hours of service, and create more opportunity for you that way. So there you go. 877-233-2537 if you want to speak to one of our recruiters. So that's the orientation process. When you are in orientation, to further elaborate, you're going to go through more company policies, procedures. You'll meet several different department heads, get to know the processes. You'll also get to meet with your recruiter and your driver leader. Your driver leader is going to be the one that's responsible for, lining you up with the loads, and they're going to be your main point of contact. And then and you'll also meet with the benefits department and communications and all of that. And then once you're done, that's when you're dispatched out and make money. Now, if you're a student, you'll go out with a trainer for 2 to 3 weeks. You'll get paid $100 a day while you're with a trainer, so roughly $700 a week, right? While you're with a trainer. And then from there, when you graduate from going with a trainer, you'll get into your own truck and go solo. And then at that point, your rate of pay per mile and the miles that you run will probably exceed whatever that minimum pay is, or, and take the place of the $100 a day while you were training. So there's that. Okay. Now your rate of pay per mile is going to be based on your experience level. So if you have, if you're brand new and you just recently graduated and you're going into flatbed, you're looking at 56 cents a mile to start with. Get a penny raise at 90 days, penny raise annually. Actually, if you're brand new, you'd actually start at 53 cents a mile and work your way up to 56 cents a mile by the end of the first year. There you go. Sorry. Get myself back on track here. So that is the pay for a student. Now, if you have a year of experience, 6 months of experience or so, you'd start at 56 cents a mile. And again, 10 cents of that's per diem in the flatbed division. Okay. All right. So benefits all start after 60 days. It's Aplos Insurance. We also have dental and vision available to you, and prescription. It's a $0 copay for the generics for the prescription. And then we have options for $0 copay on brand name and specialty as well. So we really can save you a lot of money if you are somebody who's got some prescriptions. Did I say subscriptions? Prescriptions. Wowzers. Colin says, how many miles are the drivers averaging out there? 11 days at a time and 3 days home on the reefer side. Good question. So with the reefer side, we just got an update on the miles, so let me make sure that I've got that. With the 11 and 3, it looks like you're right around the 2,500, 23 to 2,500 mark per week for the miles. And that's on the refrigerated side. And your rate of pay, again, your rate of pay per mile is going to be based on experience level. So let's say you have 5 years of experience. You're going to be looking at starting at 61 cents a mile. 10 cents per mile is per diem. And then again, a penny raise at 90 days and a penny raise annually, with the cap currently at 70 cents. Okay, good, Colin, thank you. Also with the 11 days out and 3 days home, even though we have the option, or you could be running out west, most of those runs are going to be, from real heavy in the Midwest, really Colorado and east. Even though you could be going into Tucson, Arizona, or California, or Oregon, or Washington, you could be going out there. Most of it is going to be real heavy in the Midwest towards the east. And when I say east, I'm not talking about New England states and New York. That's not a very common area for us. We don't do a whole lot up there. Yes, we do have an ice cream run that runs into southern New York, Laurel, Maryland. I'm trying to think of how far to the northeast that you'd be getting. But those are areas that we do have ice cream loads. But the majority of it's going to be within the Midwest and towards the East Valley. Atlanta, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Texas, a little bit in the Carolinas, definitely Tennessee, and up and down the Midwest. Really heavy freight for us that way. So great opportunities. So again, 877-233-2537. So with the benefits, they all start after 60 days. That includes the 25% match on the 401k, company paid life insurance, paid vacation. Vacation or PTO it's a week after your first 6 months. You'll get another week annually. You'll continue to get a week annually until you hit your 3-year mark. At 3 years, you get 2 weeks annually. And then you'll continue at your 2 weeks annual PTO or vacation until you hit your 7th year. And on your 7th year, you go up to 3 weeks annually. So there's that. But within your first year, you will get PTO after 6 months, and then again on your 1 year. Perfect. All right. Equipment. Equipment is their newer model. They're very well maintained, beautiful trucks. They have APUs and inverters and refrigerators and microwaves and 22-inch televisions with company-paid streaming, which that streaming includes 100 plus channels, HBO, Cinemax, Showtime. It's on a smart TV, which is provided. And then so if you have a subscription to, I don't know, Netflix or Paramount or Disney or whatever that's not already included in that package, you can sign in and you can, because it's a smart TV, you can sign in on that way too. Also, we have free Wi-Fi through the streaming as well. It's through our Epic View. So you have that available to you also. We also have double bunk trucks. They're very well maintained, like I said, so they're newer model. but they are double bunk, so that gives you a little bit more storage space. In the front or in the cab, you've got Best Pass and DriveWise. They're air ride seats. We have the Lytx system, which is our safety unit. It includes both inward and outward facing event recorders, lane departure, speed gauge, all of those right there in the truck. What else? What else? They come fully loaded, so lots of great amenities for your truck. Okay. Trying to think of what else amenity wise. I know I'm always missing something because there's a lot of amenities that are in the truck. But if you have questions, just let us know. Most of the trucks are the 589 Peterbilts, even though we do have some 579 Peterbilts. Some are 589s and then a few 389s as well, but the majority are the 579s. We have a few Volvos, 860 and 780s. In the flatbed division, we have some 740s as well, and then a few Freightliner Cascadia Evolutions as well. But again, mostly Pete's. So odds are you're going to get a Pete, but at that point, because the majority of them are, if we don't have a Peterbilt available at the time that you start, then you have the option of, you might get one of the other two, or you would get one of the other two. So yeah, feel free to let us know which one is your preference, so that if it is available, we can do our best to accommodate. It isn't always an option for us to accommodate, but we do try when it comes to the preferred truck. Yes. Okay. Excellent. What else can I tell you? Benefits, orientation, all that jazz. As far as individual positions, let's talk about that Midwest flatbed that I brought up initially. So the Midwest flatbed position, those are going to be a little bit shorter runs. You're running in Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Missouri, Michigan, Minnesota, Wisconsin. Those are going to be the heaviest areas for that position. And again, that's $14.50 for the minimum pay. You do need to qualify for the $14.50. You got to be available at least 5 days out of the week for that one, which Monday through Friday, right? Because Saturday, Sunday, not usually running as much in the flatbed division. So it's pretty common to come home on like a Friday night or Saturday morning and then back out either Sunday night or early Monday morning. Not always the case, but that's pretty darn common. You got to get your paperwork in. Tuesday is the cutoff, and if you can just get your paperwork in as soon as you've delivered the load, then usually you're covered. That it makes life a whole lot easier for you. Don't have to go chasing it after the fact. You get paid on Friday, direct deposit. And what else am I missing? No load refusals. And to qualify for the minimum pay, no load refusals, no late loads, no CSA or preventable accidents, and like I said, getting your paperwork in on time. Those are the requirements. Now, as far as that sign-on bonus that I mentioned, the Midwest Flatbed $14.50 per week position, that home weekly, that one has an $8,000 sign-on bonus, and that pays out within the first year. So you'll get $2,000 on your 6-month anniversary, another $2,000 on your 9-month anniversary, and the remaining $4,000 on your 1-year or 12-month anniversary. So that's how that works. And yes, we do have raises set up, so you get a raise at 90 days and a raise annually as well, until you hit the cap. Cap right now is at 70 cents a mile. So yes, you can come in at the cap in the Midwest Flatbed division. If you have 15, 16 years of experience, you'd be coming in at 70 right out of the gate. Now we do have bonus opportunities as well. We have our scorecard bonus and our safety bonus. That paid out this week, paid out over $35,000 in bonuses for the month of July. So everything you ran back in July, that you complete in July, is paid out the third pay period of August for those bonuses. Scorecard, a perfect score is 1,000 points, and anything 850 or above is going to pay you at least a penny per mile on all of that. and then all the miles that you've completed. And then we have our safety bonus, our Lytics bonus, which will pay an extra penny per mile if you had 0.49 or below. So perfect score is 0. And most I'm seeing are those who have that perfect score, or those who earn it are usually on that perfect score, or pretty dang close, obviously. So again, between the two of them, that can get you an extra 5 cents a mile total in monthly bonuses. So yeah, that is available. 877-233-2537 if you have more questions on that one. Now, as far as the over-the-road flatbed is concerned, it's usually home every other weekend. And when I say weekend, again, same thing, usually for coming in on Friday night or early Saturday morning, and then back out Sunday night or early Monday morning for that flatbed division. And making yourself available, the minimum pay on that one is $1,000 a week. Please look at it as a minimum and not a maximum, because that it's not where you want to be. You want to be well over and above that. And our averages in that division are well over that. I believe the averages are between $1,550 and $1,700 a week in that one. I'll have to double check. But yeah, they are definitely higher in that one as far as gross pay, miles as well, but gross pay in the over-the-road flatbed division. So if you want more details, get a hold of the recruiting department at 877-233-2537. And then as far as the refrigerated opportunities go, I kind of went into detail on those home times. But as far as running lanes, yes, most of them are running, any coast to coast, really. You can run all 48, even though most of it is in the Midwest and some out west, and then some towards the east. We hire in parts of Washington. So let me tell you this. I'm going to tell you the areas that we hire in, ballpark areas. I can be specific. Just put your zip code or your city and state in the chat, and then I can be even more specific. But if I give you ballpark areas, it'll kind of give you an idea of where the running lanes are as well. So pretty much the state of Washington is a fantastic location for us. We do run in parts or hire in parts of Montana, so Missoula, Billings, Bozeman areas, along 90 there. We have Hermiston, Pendleton, Oregon, of course, Portland, Oregon. Arizona, we hire in Phoenix and Tucson areas currently. We're currently hiring out of Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City is a good area. Boise is another great area. That's fantastic that we've been able to open that up here for the refrigerated division. And then Colorado, we've opened up the state of Colorado for opportunities. We've got freight in and out of there, through all of the above. And of course, areas of the Midwest, Texas to the Carolinas. We've got a little bit in Florida. Florida's even stronger with flatbed, by the way. Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Missouri, Nebraska, and Kansas. What am I missing, you guys? Freight-wise, Iowa, I think I said that one. We do have some in Ohio. We do have some in Kentucky. Tennessee, great opportunities there. And a little bit in the Pennsylvania area as well. So if those are areas that you're interested in running and you want more detail, please reach out to our recruiting department at 877-233-2537. We'll get you those details. All right. Let's see. We do a weekly drawing for our inspection tags. We hide inspection tags, or we hide these yellow tags on our trailers, and then do the placement and everything. And then if you find it during your pre-trip, your name gets entered into a drawing for a $20 gift card. If your name gets chosen, then of course you get the $20 gift card, but you also have the opportunity to be in the year drawing for $500. So you'll have a $500 drawing probably the first of the year, because we'll want to include all of 2025. Do you guys recognize that we are coming up on the beginning of the fourth quarter? That's crazy to think of in 2025. Crazy, crazy. All right. So we do have that. And I was trying to think of all of our winners for the. Hang on, I was just going to bring this up. Who was my winner this week? George Grimes was the week before, then John Zvondick for the inspection. We've only been doing this since the 1st of July, so I'm trying to remember. It's crazy. Crazy, I can't remember. Yeah. I'll have to double check. Anyways. Oh, Kyle Otradovic. Kyle won yesterday. That's who it was. I just didn't have it in front of me. Forgiveness. All right. So, yes, we'll be reaching out to get you those gift cards as well. All right, you guys. I thank you so much for hanging out with me today. We'll be back next Tuesday at noon Central here on our YouTube channel to answer more questions and give you more up-to-date news. There might be some more opportunities at that point. So we'll fill you in. And then, of course, next Monday at 4 p.m. Central, we go live on our YouTube as well. We're getting closer to Driver Appreciation Days, you guys. We're like a month away. Less than that. Crazy. More to look forward to. All right, you guys, have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll be back next week. And of course, if you are able to hop on TikTok with us, we'll be live streaming there with some Q&A opportunity as well throughout the week. So take care, you guys. Thanks so much.